there's someone close to you, someone who shares your blood or your past, who cannot walk with you any longer. I know this is not what you wanted. You tried so hard to keep peace, to love deeply, and to believe that with time, they would change. But I have seen what you couldn't always say out loud. I have watched the way your heart broke behind closed doors, how your soul withered from the weight of their words, their silence, their control. I've heard your prayers, the ones you whispered with tears on your pillow, when you were too tired to pretend everything was okay. You've been walking with a burden I never asked you to carry. You've stayed loyal in the face of manipulation. You've been kind while being mistreated. You've smiled through pain, held your tongue when they lied, and even blamed yourself for the hurt they caused. My child, I was there the whole time. I saw it all. I saw you shrinking to make them comfortable. I saw you second-guessing your own heart just to hold on to something that was never safe for you. Release the old. Type 555 if you're ready. What you felt in your spirit wasn't confusion. It was truth trying to get your attention. That quiet discomfort you kept brushing off. That heaviness when they entered the room. That strange pressure around them. That was me, tugging on your spirit, whispering that something was off. You didn't imagine it. You weren't being dramatic. I gave you that sense for a reason. I was showing you the danger hidden beneath their smile. They didn't just misunderstand you, they resented your light. They masked their envy and concern. They used your loyalty against you. You kept hoping they would come around, kept telling yourself, maybe if I pray harder, maybe if I love them better. But their heart has made its choice, and it wasn't for healing. It was for harm. They didn't just fail to support your calling. They fought against it in secret, thinking you wouldn't notice. But I noticed. Even when you forgave what they never apologized for, even when you covered for them out of love, I was counting the cost. I saw the conversations they had about you when you weren't around. I saw the delight in their eyes when you stumbled. I saw the jealousy they tried to disguise as jokes, the rumors they whispered with a smile. Nothing was hidden from me, and my heart ached with yours, hit like if this message spoke to you. You have always wanted family to mean safety. That's good and holy. But sometimes the ones we expect to protect us become the very source of our wounds. I never asked you to be loyal to someone who keeps hurting you. I never asked you to trade your peace for false unity. What I'm doing now is not rejection, it is protection. I am stepping between you and the one who secretly wished for your fall. You kept hoping they would become the person you believed they could be. But now I need you to face who they really are. Not to punish them, but to protect you. I am the shepherd who leaves the 99 to rescue the one. And right now, you are the one I'm rescuing. That's why the silence came. That's why the relationship feels distant. That's why things keep falling apart when you try to make it work. It's not just life. It's me. Gently but firmly closing a door you've tried to hold open. This separation is not your failure. It is my rescue plan. I'm not asking you to hate them. I'm asking you to release them. Because what's ahead for you cannot grow in soil poisoned by their presence. And I love you too much to let you keep bleeding spiritually just to hold on to someone I've already exposed. Trust me with this pain. I'm not just pulling you away, I'm pulling you higher. My beloved, I want you to see clearly now, not just what they did, but why they did it. This wasn't simply about disagreement or personality clashes. No, this goes deeper. What you've been facing isn't just mood swings or bitterness. What you've been fighting, without knowing it, was envy. spiritual sickness that twists love into rivalry and turns admiration into silent resentment. Subscribe for more truth and light. They were never upset because you did something wrong. They were upset because you did something right. Your growth stirred something in them they didn't want to face in themselves. Your peace made their unrest louder. Your calling, your light, your favor, it all exposed the places in them still wounded and unwilling to change. And instead of bringing those wounds to me for healing, they covered them with competition and comparison. Even when I tried to speak to them, through dreams, through my word, through people I sent to warn them, they didn't want to hear it. They chose pride instead of repentance. They mocked correction and pretended everything was fine. But I saw their heart behind the performance. I saw the way they rolled their eyes at your blessings. I saw how they smiled in public, but secretly hoped you would fail. My child, this was not love. This was war dressed in family ties. They didn't curse you out loud, but they cursed you in their heart. They didn't lift a weapon, but they rejoiced in your pain. That's spiritual warfare, and many don't even recognize it for what it is. But I do. They were never just jealous. They were planting seeds of doubt, hoping you would start to question yourself. They spoke death over your dreams while pretending to support them. And I could not let that continue. This is why I stirred your spirit to step back. I had to make you uncomfortable around them because they had become comfortable warring against your future. The more you loved them, the more they fed off your vulnerability. They mistook your mercy for weakness, and they saw your obedience as a threat. Not because you did anything wrong, but because you became a mirror they couldn't bear to look into. Support the message. Tap thanks if it blessed you. You kept thinking, but we're family. But we've been through so much together. Surely they don't mean it. But I'm telling you the truth now. They knew what they were doing. They chose to stay in the dark when I kept offering them light. This was never about misunderstanding. This was about a heart that hardened every time I knocked. And I know you've been torn because you remember their good moments. You remember the laughter, the childhood memories, the moments when things weren't so heavy. That's natural. But I need you to stop confusing old moments with current reality. The person you're grieving isn't the person they've chosen to be. And love, real love, doesn't require you to stay connected to someone who's chosen to be your enemy in spirit. They may still claim they love you. They may even try to act like nothing happened. But listen to me. Love without truth is manipulation. Unity without honesty is control. And I came to set you free, not to bind you in a false peace that costs your soul. Trust me to handle them. I know how to bring conviction. I know how to bring justice. But your hands must be clean. Walk away, not in hate, but in obedience. My child, I know this hurts. I know you never imagined things would come to this. But hear me. This separation is not punishment. It is protection. I didn't remove them from your life to hurt you. I stepped in because they were hurting your spirit. What you thought was just emotional pain was really spiritual damage, and I couldn't let that continue. I'm not punishing you. I'm preserving you. Stay connected. Subscribe now. You kept asking me to heal the relationship, to bring peace, to fix it. But what you didn't see is that your soul was bleeding every time you reached for someone who kept wounding you. So I began to pull you away. The tension you felt, the silence that grew, the doors that started closing, I was behind all of it. That distance didn't happen by accident. I created it. I allowed it. And I need you to stop chasing what I've removed. You may feel like you're being too harsh by stepping back, but I want you to understand, I am the one who brought the stillness. I'm the one who disrupted the flow, who allowed the silence, who made communication difficult. Not because I want you lonely, but because I want you safe. You spent too long trying to rescue someone who refuses to stop harming you. That's not loyalty. That's spiritual exhaustion. And I'm calling you out of it. If you try to go back, you'll notice the same pain waiting at the door. That's not coincidence. That's me, gently reminding you of why I led you out in the first place. Every time you try to force your way back into that relationship, I will stir your spirit with discomfort. Not because I'm angry with you, but because I love you too much to let you go backward. I know the future I've prepared for you, and they cannot walk with you there. Right now, I'm weeding your garden. Yes, I said weeds. Because as much as you love them, their presence was choking your growth. You kept wondering why you felt stuck, why peace was so rare, why your clarity kept slipping away. It's because you were surrounded by noise that didn't come from me. And now I am creating space, room to breathe, to hear me again, to dream again, without fear of sabotage. 111, if you're claiming this word.
111.
I know this feels like loss, but what you're really experiencing is cleansing. I am purifying your environment so you can finally thrive. The people I remove for a reason, and the ones I bring to you next will not compete with your light. They will celebrate it. But I need you to trust me during the in-between, when it feels quiet and uncertain. This space is sacred. Don't rush to fill it with what I emptied. You've been faithful, you've been patient, and you've grown. Now it's time to rise without chains around your ankles. I'm freeing you from every relationship that was draining your purpose, every connection that was rooted in guilt instead of love. You can't take everyone with you where I'm taking you next. Some people were only meant for your history, not your destiny. Let me be your peace in this. I am not just taking something from you. I am giving something better in return. Peace that stays, growth that lasts, connections that don't confuse your spirit. You're not walking away from love. You're walking toward it. Stay close to me, and you'll see why this had to happen. I'm not just cutting ties. I'm unlocking your future. My dear one, it's okay to grieve. I know you feel torn between relief and sorrow. You may feel confused because you miss what you hoped the relationship would be, not what it truly was. I see you mourning not just a person, but the dream, the story, that maybe one day you carried in your heart. I want you to know this. It is holy to feel sadness when something ends, even when it needed to end. Don't rush through this ache. Bring it to me. I can handle all of it. Love this content? Become a member today. But while you grieve, remember this. You must not go back. Don't confuse sadness with a sign to return. There's a difference between missing someone and being called to reconnect. Pain does not mean purpose. Let the tears fall if they need to. But do not let those tears build a bridge back to a place I rescued you from. You're not just walking away, you are walking toward healing. There was a version of love you clung to, a version you imagined, one where they loved you deeply, understood you, stood beside you, protected you. But that version existed in your hope, not in reality. I know how hard that truth is to accept, but accepting it will set you free. Real love is rooted in truth, and the truth is, you were loving someone who never chose to truly see or honor your soul. You were never wrong for trying. You were never wrong for hoping. But now I'm asking you to be brave enough to stop hoping for what they've already shown they won't become. This is not bitterness. This is wisdom. This is me protecting your future from repeating the same cycles. The guilt you feel for leaving? That's not from me. I would never ask you to stay bound to pain and call it love. That guilt is a lie. Let it go. Soon things will start to feel different in your spirit. You'll wake up with more clarity. The fog that once made you second-guess yourself will lift. You'll feel strange emotions. Some of them sudden tears, others unexpected peace. That's part of the healing I'm doing. I'm clearing space inside of you. Don't fear the stillness. It's not emptiness, it's me. Restoring your soul where their chaos once lived. Show your support. Click that thanks button. You'll notice doors opening, opportunities returning, even joy you forgot you could feel. This isn't random. This is what happens when you remove what was blocking your growth. What looked like a breakup was actually a breakthrough. I am the one shifting the atmosphere around your life. I'm not just healing you. I'm aligning everything connected to your calling. But I need you to be alert. Some people return not because they've changed, but because they lost control. If they come back with apologies or accusations, do not be swayed. Listen to your spirit. The same spirit that helped you see the truth before will speak again. I will give you discernment. Trust it. Not every sorry means safety, and not every I miss you means I sent them back. You've learned hard lessons. Now walk in them. Don't give access to someone who once mishandled your soul. Keep your boundaries holy. Keep your heart guarded. I'm not only healing what they broke, I'm strengthening what remains. Stay with me, and you will walk into a life where peace isn't temporary, and love doesn't hurt. The worst is behind you. Now, the rebuilding begins. Now that the dust is settling, I want you to look around, not with fear, but with expectation. Yes, it's quiet now. Yes, it feels unfamiliar. But that's because I've cleared the noise that was drowning you. You've lost something, yes, but you're about to gain so much more. You've made room for restoration. You've made room for you. And now I will begin giving back everything that was buried under the pain. Help us grow. Tap subscribe and turn on the bell. Watch as your voice comes back, stronger, clearer, unafraid. You're going to speak differently now. You'll walk into rooms and no longer shrink. You'll stop apologizing for existing, for shining, for simply being who I made you to be. What they tried to silence in you, I am reviving. The confidence, the discernment, the creativity, the fire, I am breathing on it again. It never died. It was just pressed down. But now, it rises. You've wondered if you'd ever find people who would love you without control, support you without strings, stand with you without secret jealousy. I tell you this, yes, I have already prepared them. Hearts that will recognize your soul. People who don't compete with your calling but celebrate it. Friends who come not to take, but to pour. You will not walk alone. I am building a circle around you that reflects my heart, not your history. Look for the fruit, not the fantasy. Don't be moved by empty promises. You'll know it's from me when it brings peace instead of pressure, clarity instead of confusion, growth instead of guilt. I don't send people to manipulate you. I send them to water what I've planted in you. That's how you'll know it's real, because you'll feel safe, even when it's new. I've been covering you this entire time, even when you felt abandoned. Even when you questioned my silence, I was reordering everything. I was protecting you in ways you didn't see. There were attacks I blocked, doors I shut, tears I caught. And now I'm releasing you into alignment. Watch things begin to fall into place, not by your effort, but by my hand. There will be no more betrayal like that again. Not because life is perfect, but because you've grown and you won't ignore the red flags anymore. You've been taught by fire, but now you'll walk in wisdom. This is a betrayal-free future. Not because others won't try, but because you now know when to step back, when to guard your heart, and when to listen to my whisper over their noise. Keep this message alive. donate through thanks. So let it go. Let go of the illusion. Let go of what you hoped they'd be. Let go of who you had to become just to survive that connection. That version of you was never meant to stay. You've outgrown the mask. You've outgrown the ache. I know it still stings sometimes, but trust me, that ache has purpose. It's making space for joy that doesn't require pretending. Walk forward, even if you're still wiping tears. You're not crazy. You were never too sensitive. You weren't overreacting. You were waking up. You were hearing me. And now you are being called higher. Keep walking. You're not just moving on. You're moving into everything I promised you. This is the beginning of wholeness. Stay with me. I'll show you what healing truly looks like. You're not alone. Type 111 if this was for you.